past. Right? We also can't have a really poor practice on Wednesday like we did this past week because we're going to have one less day to prepare as we play on Friday compared to Saturday.
Especially week one, it's always a good experience. There's some laughs, there's a few funny things that we see, but a lot of it is we're going to see ourselves. We're going to see ourselves with stuff we messed up on. The little fundamental stuff that you kind of just have to build back, and stuff you can only really see and fix on film. But I mean, it's bad in the sense that you never like to be called out in front of the whole team, but at the same time it's necessary, and it's what's going to help us really get better as the season goes on.
It'd be tough because Coach Trish never gives the most compliments, but like any other coach, they're watching the film to see what we do wrong and how we can get better. So a lot of kids come in here just ready to get just pulled apart. But it's also a good thing because it's just showing your weaknesses. They don't really give too much compliments, but when they do, they make sure you don't get too cocky. But it's good for players to understand what they go wrong, and we can take this week to really fix that and put that towards our game for the week. So I think film is very important. We also have a lift, which gets kids together. We get to really stretch and work our bodies a lot, which is good.
So when I talk about trying to set the tone with the open and kickoff or open and kick return, it's really important. That's not what I'm looking for. What?
You got time. You got time. Go.
Every good run play that we have is the offensive line doing a really nice job, which is good.
Definitely more serious, more comments, what we could do better, and just more of a serious film compared to the scrimmage where we didn't really have to take it that serious, and just looking past the film and then going on to Timberlane.
A lot of issues. Always thinking about cutback. Right? We don't have anybody out here, Matt, to block number 2, who's the overhang player. So if you pull it, there's 2 guys there. So we actually are better off potentially running this with the tight end, which we did more later, or running it out of shoot so we have a second receiver over there to block that player. All right, but we got a bunch of linemen standing around and the quarterback getting hit. I don't love it. Right? It's obviously going to look a little bit different when you're playing, but we don't want to go outside of this necessarily. It's a good job, I think, ultimately going back inside. Counterplay, tight. But Connor does a really good job, I thought, catching the ball, getting his shoulders square, getting downhill, and nobody was really interested in tackling him, which was good. All right, Lennon, I thought you did an awesome job on kickoffs. All right, this is down to the 5-yard line. I think since I've been here, we've never been able to kick the ball down inside the 10, ever. All right, so that's a huge advantage, and then we did a much better job on kickoff than we did on kick return. Hit, go. This is slow. And then this is the kind of physicality that we're looking for. Really nasty. Real nasty.
It's kind of fun to watch everybody walk in on those days, just to see, almost who's banked up, who's not. You'll see guys coming in with ice and holding their backs and bruises. It's it's almost like a trading card game. You're showing your battle scars the next day, so that's always fun to come in. But and it's always funny too, because there's plays every once in a while where someone does the wrong thing, and it looks hilarious on the film. So film day is always a great day. It's just that the vibe is good, and everyone, especially after a win, coming in and seeing the film it's a very positive bonding experience for the team. More so even, it's great to learn from our mistakes and everything, but just coming in and getting together one extra day is great for us.
Got to know the difference between cover 4 and man. We're here. I'm trying to get under 11. That still would allow you to play the running back and rally to it. Cover 4. Get width. Trying to get under number 1. Now they just throw it right in the hole that you vacated.
I would say our weakness, as for what we can see, though, especially see today on film, was our coverage was really, really poor. And that's not stuff that we really have to worry about. It's more stuff we just have to accept and take the criticism and fix. But as far as stopping the run and the other aspect, I thought we played really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think those short passes are definitely tough. And I mean, we talked about that before. Our coach said like that's where they're gonna get us, get into the flats, sending guys down the field and creating that whole diversion and having us like rallying to the flats late. That's like we knew that was gonna be the problem area. But overall, I think really those plays are just hustle plays, and I think a lot of guys showed that they're willing to hustle and work hard. Like Connor Gabor, again, he had a day on defense. He had quite a day on defense, and it just showed like he was willing to hustle. And there's a couple other guys, like even Dante too, like they were ready to go and they were ready to move and work hard. So I think our defense that day at the game showed more work rather than sheer talent. Because like
what I do like though is like I'm watching all these games and I'm at the Trinity. I'm not Trinity. I'm at the Memorial Timberlane game. I see it from Trinity and the Jamboree when they're on defense down on the goal line. I see it from South when we're down there by the goal line. Like not everybody plays it like this. They're like, oh, he's in, or oh, he's gonna get in, and we kind of pull up. We're not giving a great effort. This kid is in supposedly, and just watch how number 13 finishes the play. Right? Remember in the Jamboree when I showed you 21 was standing there like this in the end zone? Yeah. This is winning football, even though they score. Right? And it's just the mentality. Right? I don't love the technique by Connor, right, as far as kind of dipping in, but it's a teachable moment. But he still gets there and tries to finish, and there's the quarterback going up and over the kid.
Connor, take the H.
Takes off. He's stacked up.
Just caving guys in. All right, this is good football here, right? As a runner, to be able to have an understanding that I just got to get to the pylon, right? Awesome. Really good. Really good. Love to see it. Anytime we get guys on the ground here, that's a good thing. Where you could lay out, pull out a Superman, be a hero.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a good first game, but also the fact that we could have maybe even improved like by a lot more too, and the fact that our defense like let up one touchdown. But yeah.
I think the best way to think about it is to treat them like any other team would be treated. Not as a D2 team, but as a D1 team who's in this division for a reason. And we gotta play them just like any other team. We watch the film, game plan, and just get to it. Put our work in, and it'll speak for itself.
There's definitely a lot of us with that mindset, like they're D2. It's kind of the same mindset that some of us had with Trinity. But at the same time, they also had moved up from D2, which means they had been showing talent in D2, which is why they've moved up. So a lot of it's just going to be not having that, without a doubt mindset, and more of a, it's week 2. We got to get out there. We did good against South, but that's in the past, and now we have to move on and get ready to play the next challenge of the year.
We're not going to walk into that game thinking we just rolled Nashua South. We're going to come in there having the same mindset. Coach Trish is really going to stick it into us that it's going to be a hard game. We need the best out of everyone, and I think for us, we've played a lot of hard away games and won them, like Wyndham last year, Keene the past 3 years. We've won all of them, and they've been close games. Like those Keene games have been close, and they've been away at a field like Keene too, which is a far drive and a really horrible field. So we just need the right mindset going into Timberlane. We need to watch film, see what everyone has to do, and it would be best for us to come out with the big win. It'll bring a lot of confidence in our team, and it would really show how hard our team tries and how tough we are.
We just have to treat them like another opponent, like normally, and just treat them like they're going to be really good, and that we need to put the work in and be able to stop them.
Yeah, they had, I would say, 11 kids on offense and defense where there was not a weakness.
that we could see live. Then turn around and we have the film on them and still watching it. You know, usually you're looking, do they have a weak DB? Are they weak a little bit at linebacker? Is it, a defensive end? Where is the weakness? There isn't one. And then the other part of it was how physical that they were in the defensive line and in the linebackers. They really got to the football. And when they got to the football, there was a lot of guys in on the tackles. So it's a really important aspect of our team too. Like, how are we going to respond when we're getting hit? Are we going to be able to rise to that challenge and match their physicality? That was probably a big thing. They had a special teams touchdown. They have an outstanding quarterback. They really ran the ball well. They do some stuff on offense very similar to what we try to do. Keep time of possession. I'd say their offensive line is definitely a strength. So it's really, I think, alarming watching the film, the physicality from Timberlane, and I didn't see a weakness anywhere on offense or defense.
I think the drive too, as well. The kind of odd atmosphere is. I don't think it's that much of a problem. Sometimes I kind of prefer going to away games because it gets me time to think by myself and kind of just focus on what I'm doing rather than kind of that uncomfortability almost makes us feel like we gotta fight back, almost like we're cornered. And I think that's a really good mentality to have, to not be too comfortable anyway.
Let's go, fellas. Here it is. First play. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it.
They definitely were winning almost the mental game before, because for us at least, going to let's say Londonderry, for example, we already know that Londonderry does the same thing because we've gone there a couple times. They come down the hill, they do that whole big entrance as well. But I don't think, since none of us have ever been to Timberlane for a game like that, I don't think any of us were really expecting it or even thinking about that. So they definitely won that mental aspect right in the beginning of the game. I think we did a fair job staying locked in.
Cardinals looking at a 2nd and 9.
Hey, Chuck! Run him! Come on, Baker!
Number 26, Bellevue at the 4-yard line. Number 26, Bellevue with the carry in.
Kids are getting there and they're ready to go. As a coach, you're always concerned what the game's going to start out like. Is there going to be a special teams issue, or are we going to make a good special teams play? We don't know if we're going to go on offense or defense first. Obviously, the way we've been starting games, we'd like to continue to get the ball to start and try to go down and get up early. But it kind of shows that the kids are focused. I think it's a mature group. The importance of starting off right, because you don't necessarily know how that game's going to go from then on out. So we're trying to control, the beginning of the game, and it's huge for momentum to start out that way.
Getting touchdowns on the first possession is huge, and it's definitely a momentum for our team just to see us go, and also it sets the pace for our defense to step up.
I love the feeling getting there at the beginning of the games, but it doesn't go through my head. I still know the team has a chance to come back like they did in the second half, but it is always a good feeling to start off strong, but you just gotta finish strong.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we need to be doing, is going out there and setting the tone. Our coach tells us this every day, every practice even, is set the tone, beginning of practice, set the tone, beginning of the game, set the tone, the beginning of the walkthrough, because when you do that, it's like that's how the course of the rest of the game is usually going to go. You know, is whoever comes out swinging in the beginning, that's like you're kind of in a better stable mental state for the rest of the game. You know, playing from behind is always like really stressful for guys, or at least for me it is. I hate playing from behind. So going out there and being able to do that in the beginning definitely makes for a calmer game and kind of just a more level-headed game at least.
I would say some of it is our line being able to get push on a lot of these other D lines that we face. So, I mean, I can't give all the credit there, because that's biased, but I'd say it starts up there, getting pushed for inside zone, outside zone, just good blocking overall. And then all of us just kind of on the same page and having good chemistry throughout the whole entire offense to want to set the tone for the start of the game and not lose an opportunity when it's presented to us.
Pass intended. Number 20, Matt Williams with the carry. Tackled by number 6. On the 25-yard line.
Let's go, Matt! Go, Matt! Run!
Number 13, Santa Sula. Pass complete to number 26, Elevance. Number 12 with the carry.
Yes, Baker! Yes, Baker! Strong three!
The second and 15.
Back up! Outside!
I saw Rocco make the tackle, and then I noticed that the quarterback threw the ball down, and I was like, that's like a live ball, and then Jacob jumped on it, and I thought we were going to get the touchdown, and then we ended up getting the safety, but that was a great play.
Guy was blocking me. I made my move, and then I was going way too fast. The QB made a little juke, and I kind of tried to grab him by the shirt, and I kind of flung off. And then I see Rocco come. I was like, oh man! And then I was so happy to see Rocco come in and bring him back. And then I just see the ball go loose. You kind of see the QBs like throwing the ball now, try to like spike it and stuff. And I saw the ball come loose, so I hopped on it, and everyone around me was excited. Like I scored, and then the ref kind of put his hands up like it was a touchdown, and then did the safety signal.
So, I mean, they would just call like a normal defensive play call, and I had seen that Jacob got back there and was giving him pressure, so I kind of played my guy so I can go both ways. I wanted to be able to like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, like shuffle to each side, like be able to get to where he's going to get pressured. So after I started rolling out, just saw the gap, went for him, and a lot of people say that it was a fumble and that he, like an intentional grounding, he threw it as I brought him down, but I was really excited after. I went over to the sidelines, was celebrating, but yeah, it was a crazy. Gentleman was really up after that.
Anytime you see a safety is just like a great feeling, because I mean it's not very common, just to get like you don't see a safety every game, and I mean of course like we had one last year against Salem, and then this year against Timberlane. It's just like I mean, props to the defense. Like that's exactly what we should be doing. You know, it's like it's really cool to see when you can like push someone back that far that you're just so dominant that you can push them all the way back and get that
Field position is huge. Any special teams where you can either start at midfield or you can pin somebody down deep is massive. When we miss the extra point, you know, we've seen enough football games where I was concerned, you know, you don't necessarily want to be chasing points. You know, the concern is when you miss it, all of a sudden if they go down and score, now are you behind by a point? So anytime you can pick that up, we weren't anticipating getting a safety. You know, so the kids did really well getting after the quarterback.
The extra point.
The game's changed now.
Goes in for the 2 points.
It was definitely a huge swing, especially with the momentum we had. And then, like, if they ever scored again, they'd have to score 3 times instead of twice. And when they did score the first time, they had to get a 2-point conversion, I believe.
I would think so, especially with his contact and yards after, you know, breaking a tackle, or if he's getting hit low and diving for a first down. Like, so I think his contact running has gotten a lot better, and I think his agility as far as making people miss and getting to the sideline, and just his speed is crazy. So I would say I definitely seen an up in his run game as well as his pass game this year so far.
I think it's understanding the game, you know, and for a lot of these kids, it's trying to understand situational football. You know, as coaches, we got to continue to do a better job trying to prepare them for some of those situations, which we're going to work on today in practice. You know, but Matt's a kid that's really doing everything for us, and he's super consistent. And there's not a whole lot that a whole lot of time that I have to spend with him, you know, whether it's offensively or defensively. So I get to concentrate on, you know, usually the other 10 kids on the field. So he's been tremendous, you know. The amount of times he's carried the ball security thus far hasn't been an issue. And, you know, but I would just say the understanding, you know, the game a year later, the calls that we make, certain things we're trying to do in the run game, you know, and then trying to help out teammates too. So we've been really, really happy with them thus far.
That the game wasn't over, but we were on our way to making it over. So a lot of it wasn't us thinking too highly. I would say, at least from what I saw, none of us were like super like, oh, this game's over, we already won. But at the same time, there wasn't all like, guys, we got to get back into this, like we got to make sure we finish this. So I would say it was in the middle. There wasn't really desperate or it wasn't really too high.
Number 8. Lennon. Intended for number 19. Number 13 sent us. Quarterback keeper, number 13, Santa Suso. The play, Second and 8. Recovered by number 59.
At that point, it was just kind of like one of those series of unfortunate events. It's like bad snap, it's a fumble, they get the ball back, and we get beat over the top really bad, and they score a touchdown, and like it kind of all spirals out of control if you don't really contain ourselves and get us back in it. So I'd say part of it was us. We just probably needed to make a bigger play. We needed to stop them when we could and not let up the big play. But with that fumble, I think the momentum of the game changed drastically from where we were at previously.
Coach, you can feel the momentum slipping, going one way or the other. And I think for high school kids, that's a lot bigger deal. So our concern is usually their psyche and how they kind of react to those ebbs and flows of the game. As a coach, when things aren't going well or they go wrong, there's just so much already happening that you just got to go to the next play. You got to figure out what the scenario is that you're in now and just keep trying to move forward. And then ultimately, it's hard to win high school football games. So whether you win by 40 or you win by 20 or you win by 2, we'll take the wins however we can get them. We just hope that we can make some progress and not maybe make some of those same mistakes this week.
I think for us, what happened in the second half was more of a discipline issue. Was that, we think we're up, and it wasn't necessarily our energy or our willingness to be there. Like, all of our guys still wanted to be there, and you could see it in their faces on the field. They wanted to try. Everyone was still pushing hard and everything, but our game kind of got sloppy in the second half because we were up so much. Our corners, playing farther off, their guys in man coverage, kind of, not worrying, thinking, hopefully they don't pass to my guy. Just everyone cutting a little bit, just a little bit off the edge of their responsibility, and that, of course, adds up.
Pass intended for number 20, Matt Williams. Just broke.
Hey, we're right here. We're right here. We're here. Here. One. Chinny, we're here. Hey, solid. Hey, OZ lead. Be careful. Oh, outside. Nice play. Good job, boys.
Hey, that's a big play. That's a big play. Don't let up. That's a big play.
On our defense, if we stop them on this 2-point conversion, they got to score twice more. So that was a huge stop we had on the 2-point conversion.
I think it was the 2-point conversion where it was the backup quarterback and the regular quarterback, the starting quarterback was right next to him as running back. We identified that. We knew number 2 was going to get the ball, just how they lined everything up, and I think we executed it pretty well.
So that was definitely a moment where we all kind of just had to breathe and relax and bring us down all to one level because, obviously if they had scored that, it's different. They don't have to make drastic throws. They don't have to make drastic runs. They don't so I would say it definitely was a big moment for us.
down by number 80. Pass is complete to number 19, Eddie Nashua.
And they were doing everything they could to get back in the game, running these trick plays like the fake punt, and having like the running back release late for that big pass up the sideline. There was a lot of like very precise trick play, I guess trick plays, but plays that they were clearly saving in their back pocket for a situation like this. And so yeah, I really think it was a discipline issue that we really need to. We'll have to work on that definitely.
Number 9. Number 52 on the tackle. Pass complete to number 3, Trey Baker. There is a flag on the play. Pass falls in.
It's definitely in my head. Just like knowing how much time we had, keep them in bounds. They were wasting. I think they had like maybe one timeout left, so we just like had to keep an eye on the sticks, make sure that we could stop them before they get the first down. Didn't even matter if they did, just make sure they didn't score, and we executed that pretty good.
Pass is intercepted by number 13, Santa Sousa.
I love football. Anything could happen, and it's a shock factor. Like, I don't know if the offense is going to make a play. I'm just ready to do my job, and it wasn't a lot of nerves flowing through me. It was just me focusing on what I have to do, and it's the reason I love it. Anything could happen, and I love close games like that. It just brings up everyone tries their best, and everyone works hard at the end of the game like that. And when Matt caught that, all the pressure went off. I was like, oh, we actually just beat them on their own field. And yeah, that brought tons of joy to me.
Really threw like a Hail Mary down the field. They had that one receiver on the left, and they've been like throwing to that side the whole game. And right when the play snapped, the quarterback looked to the left, and I immediately went to that side, and he threw it. I got under it, and then it was over at that point.